I don't know if you've heard, but this afternoon, to celebrate National Girls and Women's in Sports Day, President Trump signed an executive order banning men from competing in women's sports. As exciting as this news is, we know that federal interpretations, like what we saw during the Biden administration, make it clear that we can't rely solely on executive orders to protect women's rights.
That was Nevada Republican Lieutenant Governor Stavros Anthony, who led an anti-trans rally inside a state office building the same day that Donald Trump signed an executive order effectively banning trans athletes from competing in youth sports and collegiate competition under their preferred gender identity. And other Nevada Republicans are getting ready to introduce legislation at the state level to codify similar restrictions against our state's own citizens. Hi, I'm Casey, and I cover politics here at the Nevadan. And while our Lieutenant Governor has been leading the charge on this effort that he says is protecting women and girls in sports, the number of trans athletes competing at the collegiate level is very small. In fact, only about 10 nationally. We don't even really have a sense of how many trans athletes there are in Nevada, if at all. And LGBTQ+ advocates argue that these measures are discriminatory and target trans people's rights. But that hasn't stopped Anthony, who last month created his own task force dedicated to barring trans athletes from women's sports. At that rally, State Senator Carrie Buck touted a bill that she recently filed, which would require schools to designate athletic programs based on sex assigned at birth and prohibit those from the opposite sex from participating outside of their respective divisions. The bill would also direct schools to create programs open to both males and females. But the reality is that the bill has a tough road ahead, as Democrats control both the state Senate and the Assembly, and a similar bill introduced during the last legislative session basically never even saw the light of day. And as for the Lieutenant Governor's task force, legislators hinted during a somewhat contentious hearing recently that using staff who he says are volunteering but are part of his team is a misuse of official resources. But let's be clear here that the president's executive order, one of several targeting trans Americans, could have a chilling effect on trans participation in all facets of public life, and continued attacks on trans youth in particular could be incredibly harmful to folks with gender dysphoria or who simply want to express themselves freely. We'll be covering that bill and a whole lot more as the legislative session continues to unfold up here in Carson City. Until then though, you can follow the Nevadan for more, and I will see you in the next video.